Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Wait until you see what we're making today. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by, and welcome to all of my new friends and to all of my new subscribers. Welcome back to all of my longtime friends and longtime subscribers. Thank you all so much for the wonderful ways in which you support me and my channel. Today we're going to make low cost look high end. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a minute, but y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all, so here's what we're making today. When finished, this measures 8 by 8 by 1, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments. It is a beautiful little stationery set, complete with your writing pad, note cards, envelopes, and pins if you want. This is super easy to make. I'm going to show you the whole process from start to finish, and I think you're going to love it. We have a beautiful acetate lid on the top of this one. We can dress this up and add even more sophistication to this project, and I'll show you what I mean when we make the one today. But on the inside, I'm using one of the Dollar Tree notepads. I've covered it. It's a 4x6. You can get any 4x6 notepad for this. Then here we have some 3x3 note cards. And here we have the envelopes for the 3x3 note cards. Super, super easy. Here's what we're going to need to make it. All right, y'all, so here's what we're going to need to make today's project. I am going to be using a Dollar Tree notepad. It's 4x6. You can use any 4x6 notepad for this project. And then I'm going to be using some full sheets that I will cut down, and we'll cut these down together. So to make the envelope, I have an 8.5 by 11. We'll be cutting this down. I have a sheet of 12 by 12 that I printed, and I'll be using that to cover the notepad. Then I have a sheet of 12 by 12 that I'll be using to make my note cards. I have a double-sided sheet of 12 by 12 that I'll be using to make the box. And then I have 2 pieces of 12 by 12 that I'll be using to make the inserts for the box. So for the note cards and the envelopes, if you want, you can print those on 8.5 by 11, or you can even use 8.5 by 11 if you don't want to print your own paper. But we're going to go ahead and make the box first. So I have my piece of 12 by 12. I am going to bring in my scoreboard, and this is going to be very easy because we're going to score at 1 and 2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1 and 2 on all 4 sides. 1 and 2. And I chose to make this paper double-sided because I knew I'd have part of it showing, and I wanted it to have a print on it instead of being just plain white. So it's the same print, front and back. So I'm scoring at 1 and at 2 on all 4 sides. Then I'm going to fold and burnish all of my scores. And I'm using a thick cardstock for the box. And this box is going to end up being 8 by 8 when we are finished. So now I'm going to take my finger blade. We'll go to the second score mark, and I'll cut straight down the middle on both sides to free the tabs. And I want this free, so now I will angle in here, angle in here, angle in here to remove these 2 pieces, and then I'll cut off at the score mark to remove that 3rd piece. And we do this on all 4 sides. So again, we angle in here, angle in here, angle here, and then reduce. Let's do that over here. Let's go ahead and just cut. Let's go ahead and cut to free the center tab. So we have freed that. Now we'll angle, 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 and reduce. Do the same thing here. Let's angle, 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 and reduce. So now your piece is going to look like this. You'll have two ends that are angled. I'm going to go ahead and just angle the other two ends. Because that's just going to make it easier to fold in. So now I'll bring in my reptile adhesive, and guys, if you're interested in some of the products that I'm using in this video, please make sure you're checking the description box for my Amazon storefront. You'll find things such as my scoreboard, my big old spatula, my reptile adhesive, things like that will be listed there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this, and we want to make sure we get our corners nice, tight, and crisp. So I'm going to stand this up, go in with my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. We'll do the same thing over here. You want to make sure that your corners are nice, tight, and crisp like that. And then I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on these outside flaps. Then we just fold them over, and we're going to stick them to the inside. And we do this on all four sides. So again, we add our glue to these outside panels. We fold the panels in, and we're going to get them stuck. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of these stuck, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so there is our box. We are going to go ahead and make the cover for the notebook, as well as a card and the envelopes that will go in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this piece, and I am going to cut out a nice little image. And I want to make sure that my image is 4 by 5 7/8. That's for the cover. And let's just go ahead and cut out a card. So I am just going to cut this at 6 by 3. So now I'll score my card at 3 on the 6-inch side. And then I can fold it like this and fold it like this. So now I have 2 cards. So I'm going to take my 8.5 by 11-inch piece, and I'm going to cut it down to 5 1/8 by 8 for the envelope. So now on the 5 1/8 inch side, we're going to score at 1, rotate to the opposite, 5 1/8 inch side, and score at 1. Rotate it to the 8-inch side, score at 3, and at 6 1/8. We can fold and burnish all of our scores. And however many cards you make, that's how many envelopes you need to make. And I'm guessing that we can safely get 4 cards and 4 envelopes in the box. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to free the center tab here by going to the score mark, and I'll angle in on both sides of that score mark. And then I'm going to angle in as I cut to remove these. And let's just angle in here to remove that. And then we're going to remove this piece as well as this piece. So now I'm going to take my scissors and just round my ends. You can do this with a corner rounder if you have one. If you don't, you can see just how easy it is to get that rounded corner look. So now I'm going to take my glue. Let's fold these pieces in. Add some glue here, some glue here. The widest part is the part that we're going to fold up. So let's just place some glue right along the edge. And then we just fold up and over. Get that nice and stuck. And now I have a really cute little envelope for my 3x3 note card. Really, really cute. So let's go ahead and take that out. Now I'm going to take some tape. We're going to tape it down to our 4x6 cover piece. And we're going to cover that notepad. Y'all, this could not be any easier. And you see how fancy and upscale it is going to look. Just go through your paper stash and pick out some of your favorite papers, and you too can make this project. I am going to peel away that backer. Then I'm going to take this piece and start lining it up at the bottom as best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but it is certainly good enough. And look how we instantly transform that Dollar Tree notebook into something that's really pretty. So now we have our notebook, cards, and envelopes. Now we need a place to put them in the box. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these inserts. So to make our insert, I'm going to be using this beautiful polka dotted paper, and I am going to remove the white border. Anytime I print a 12 by 12, I get a white border because my printer is not printing 12 by 12 borderless, so I can print 12 by 12s. I just have that white border, and ordinarily it would not be an issue for me, but I'm going to be placing this down on the inside of my box, and I want it to be like this. So when I remove the size, I actually end up with an 11 3/4 by 11 3/4 inch piece, and that's really not much loss. I'm going to cut my first insert at 6 1/2 by 9 3/8. And I'm going to score at 4 1/2, at 5 1/4, and at 6. Now on projects that you've not made before, please make sure that you practice on some practice paper that you don't mind losing, because sometimes we have to tweak the process. Even though you're following my directions, we score differently, we cut differently. So make sure that you're doing some practice before you commit your good paper. So now we're going to take this and we're basically going to fold like this. So we have those 3 scores and we're just going to fold them in like that. And we should be able to take them and put them on the inside of your box like this. I'll take my glue. The first thing that I'm going to do is just glue this closed. So we need to get that nice and stuck. So I'm going to place it down like this, and I'm just going to work that glue back and forth because I want it stuck. Then I'm going to take my glue, place my glue along the fold, and then I'll just place glue all the way around, being generous. So this is insert number 1. I'm just going to take it, put it in like that, get it nice and stuck. I'll use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. And then I'm going to press down on that center because I want to make sure that it too is nice and stuck. That's what keeps it from moving. So there is insert number 1. Now I want to make the insert that goes along the bottom. And so I'm going to cut this piece at almost 8. I have it right outside of that 8 mark, and I'm going to cut. Then I'm going to cut it at 3.5. And I am going to score at 3/4 of an inch. One and a half. And then I'm going to rotate it to the opposite 3.5 inch side and score at 3/4 of an inch. So now I'm going to take this first part, fold it up like that. And then on this end we have 2 scores, so I'll move into that second score and fold it up like this. Then I'll take this outside score and we're going to fold it backwards. So now I can take my glue, place my glue on that piece, and we stick it to this piece. So I'm just going to put that down. Get this nice and stuck. And now I should be able to take this piece and put it on the inside like that. But the only reason that I know it works for me is because I did test this. So you need to make sure that you are test fitting yours as well. So now I'm going to take my glue, add my glue on this white side and on the bottom. We're going to take this piece and we just put it in like this. Then I can go in with my big old spatula and we can get this stuff. So now we have compartment number 2. We need to divide this compartment. So now I'm going to cut a piece that is 8 by 3 3/8, and that's going to give us the insert that we need right here. So now we're going to score at 3 1/8, at 3 7/8, and at 4 5/8. So now we'll take this and fold it on that middle score. Then we can fold this score backwards and this score backwards. We're going to take our glue, place our glue right there in the middle, and seal that fold. And now we should be able to take this and place it in right here and have it fit. So it looks like everything is working out the way that we want it. Now we can take our glue, place some glue there, place glue all the way around. Put this back in and stick it. And y'all, that is how easy it is to make your own sectioned boxes. So now we can take our notepad, put it in, We can take our card envelope, put it in. We can take our card, put it in. And now we can take a pen and place it in. Let's go ahead and make the acetate lid for this. And because the acetate is hard to see on camera, I'm going to take a piece of 10 1/8 by 10 1/8 inch white paper to show you what I'll be doing. I am going to score at 1 on all 4 sides. So I'll be scoring at 1 on all 4 sides. Then I'm simply going to fold and burnish, and what I'll be doing is I won't be removing my ends. I'll simply be cutting down and cutting off a little bit, just like that, on all 4 sides. So that is how we're going to make the lid to go over the outside of our box. Okay, so what I'm doing is I am just making holes on the side of my acetate, just using my finger blade. You can use your hole punch if you want, but I'm just going in very carefully and punching a hole. And I am closing my acetate lid using mini brads because I like the look of those. So you can see how I have those going around. I'm not using tape. I'm not using glue. I'm just using mini brads, and they work beautifully. And I'm just going to go in, get my little hole, take my mini brad, put that mini brad in. Sorry about the glare on this acetate lid. And now I'm just going to sort of reshape my edges like this. Should be able to bring in my box and put the lid on like that. And y'all can see that we have a beautifully fitted lid on this box. Now, if you want to add a decorative touch to the actual box itself, let's just take our scissors, and these are not my normal fussy cut scissors, but they're going to do. I'm just going to go around and cut out this flower and show you how we can use it as a decorative element on our box. So I'm just going around, turning my paper as I go, and I'm just going to cut it out. I'm not leaving any type of a border around the flower. I'm trying to get in and get as close as I can to the actual color. All right, so I've cut my flower out, and if I wanted to add an additional decorative element to the acetate, I can take this flower, put some glue on the back. It is going to stick to the acetate when the glue dries. We can take this and just put it down as a decorative piece on our box. I did mine as an offset here in the corner. You can place yours anywhere you want, or you can leave it completely clear, like I did with this one. I'm trying to move these around so that the glare of my overhead lights don't really blind you on the acetate. But you can see just how gorgeous these are, and y'all can see how easy it was for us to make our own 4-section box complete with an acetate lid to cover it. Y'all, we're doing some amazing things with the least amount of materials possible. We're able to take a Dollar Tree notepad and turn it into this beautiful, giftable, sellable, or keepable set for any season, any reason, anyone. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's awesome tutorial. If you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you join this amazing online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.